All right, folks, we're back, and you may have heard an awkward chuckle that was not from me. That was actually Zombie Grub. You guys might not realize this, but she has to actually do vocal exercises, and that's how she sounds as good as she does on stream. Normally, she definitely sounds.
It's my greatest secret, and it's now been revealed.
Sorry, guys. I don't just steal builds; I steal secrets, and I distribute them freely.
Is that? Someone tells you a secret voluntarily. That's still stealing.
Maybe. No? I don't actually know. This was a stupid joke that I didn't expect to have an answer for. Anyways, they are starting off on Abyssal. I guess real quick, say hi, Terminator.
Hi.
So again, this guy is a awesome supporter of the channel. He supports my Patreon, and it's one of those awesome benefits you guys get. Once a month, he can choose to spectate any game, any match he wants, and he's chosen to watch Scarlett versus MajOr firsthand. Also, as a side note, if you guys ever do get involved this deep and you do want to contribute in this way, while we will work around it, I've told this to Terminator too, there are going to be some things where we just can't get you in for. Like if we're not control the event, like it's the Alima League or something, that's like kind of off limits, but stuff we have control, fun show matches, events like that, not a problem getting people in for. But, my friend, I will need you to go ahead and make sure you are muted as we get ready to go here.
All right.
And yeah, as soon as Abyssal Reef.
Someone asks, where can I give Zombie flowers personally? Nowhere is my answer. But it also reminds me that I got a P.O. box a couple of days ago.
Ah, so you could like actually get mail without having people know your address. Clever girl.
Yeah, it wasn't because I wanted like gifts or anything, although that would be cool. It's because like giving out Partoufs is like increase the chances of having an axe murder shut my door by like.
I need to get the address to your
people,
P.O. box, and I need to convince people while you're not here for like a cast, to just write you a bunch of love letters and see how that goes over. Just send her Valentine's in like July, you know. Spritz the card with cinnamon smell, etc.
What? When I smell it and be like, oh my god, I hope it's from Scarlett.
Alright, looks like they're ready to go, so we'll hop into Abyssal Reef. Again, this is MajOr versus Scarlett. I should probably change the title of the stream. God, it's been so long. Because that last series went on for so long, I kind of forgot to change it. So yeah, MajOr versus Scarlett. I'll probably go tweet about this too real quick. Do me a favor, you guys, if you haven't already, hit up Twitter. Give us a retweet, love, and action all the events that are going on today. But let's just hop right into the game, and you get like a 1 second sneak peek at the chat.
Did you watch Powerpuff Girls, right?
The what?
Powerpuff Girls. You did. You literally were like singing the song yesterday or something like that. Anyways, did you watch the episode of the fourth Powerpuff Girl?
I don't know about the Powerpuff Girls, but I've watched the Rowdy Rough Boys.
That's not even a real cartoon.
It is. Oh, I'm so mad at you right now, but okay, ladies and gentlemen, game. You bring up the Powerpuff Girls and you don't even know the Rowdy Rough Boys? Like, come on, what are you doing?
They're not a cartoon by themselves.
Not in this universe, but in the Berenstein Bears universe.
Shut up.
All right, in the bottom right, kicking off this game, it is the red Terran player. Sorry, name confused me. That's right, it's MajOr.
In the top left is the pink Zerg. She is Scarlett.
All right, what about yes, I've watched the Powerpuff Girls. Where was this going? Well, I'm curious.
Oh, because I was talking to Scarlett about it and how she would be the weird Powerpuff Girl, the fourth one. Did she even have a name, or was she called something weird?
I think this is weird. I think in the Goonies, her name was
I don't even know where you're going with this.
I can't
I can't help you. There's another movie I didn't really like.
You didn't like the Goonies?
Nah, I do find it really amusing though that little girl grew up to be the mom in Raising Hope. Like, I really liked the mom in Raising Hope. But anyways,
I'm really upset with you right now. But yeah, also that woman is she was in Westworld too.
Oh, I did not know that. But anyways, I told her she'd go the way of Akira, which she now actually understands because she's watched the damn movie.
Okay,
and that's what the Powerpuff Girls alluded to. But yeah.
Well, at any rate, the proxy hatchery comes down, and I want to point out this isn't something new and wild and crazy out of Scarlett. She's actually like I want to say like 7 months ago, 8 months ago, Bly got his hooks into her. And like I'm not kidding, she's attributed a lot of this like in when talking about to like having conversed with Bly and discussing tactics. And proxy hatcheries are so unconventional, they can be so weird to deal with, and it's hard to, like, you scout with this SCV and you're like, oh, Roach Warren, is she like just one base Ravager all enemy? Is this going to be proxy? Like, you don't know is the problem. So for Major, there's going to be a little bit of guesswork as the Reaper stays at home. It's not exactly going to stop this from going underway though. Queen's going to have no problem coming out. She's going to have like 3 roaches come out quickly after. I love the cancel though. I think this was such a smart move out of Major.
Yeah, as soon as you realize what was really going on, cancels it. Unfortunately, it's just something you have to do. Bunker's already almost done, and a Cyclone, I'd imagine. Okay, so you can get a Cyclone, and that's good. If you get a tank, I think that actually really just means that they cannot push in ever, whereas a Cyclone is a little bit more dangerous. But you got to be careful about that tank positioning. If you let it too close to the edge, then it's worse than a Cyclone, actually. It'll just be corrosive biled.
This is, by the way, peeking out of the bunker with the Marine to try and pick off the Overlord was huge. The Overlord is the only thing that gives Scarlett power in this. Roaches and Ravagers, objectively, not actually that good. It's the high ground vision that lets them abuse the corrosive bile that makes them so good. So if this Overlord were to go down to anything, whether it be a Cyclone lock-on, a Viking coming out, that's going to shut this down even better than a tank would. Major can buy some time though. He's like, honestly, as long as he doesn't make any silly mistakes, he's got about 2.5 minutes. So getting that Viking out is totally within the time frame.
Yeah. Liberator takes too long to kill the damn thing, even if it would eventually do it, and you could counterattack. And a Banshee helps defend against the Ravagers anyway, so that's like not a terrible thing to get, but a Viking would just take care of it easy peasy.
If he had the time management and the money for it, I would like the Banshee a lot more.
Dangerous.
It's dangerous, but she got the tank though without losing the Ravagers.
Sorry, that's what I meant. Major did something dangerous and let the tank siege up there. So
I think
a little bit too close.
I think it was dangerous with Scarlett too. If the SCVs had body blocked, had the depot like not actually gone down, like this could have actually been way different, right? But we don't live in a world of what ifs. We live in a world of what's happening. And right now, Scarlett is seriously kicking butt. But the second Overlord's up. No transfuse on the Queen. The Viking is getting kind of low. But while this goes on, like, she didn't expand back at home. This is very all in.
But yeah, it is. It's really hard to do enough damage to be able to macro out of this. I would say almost impossible. We have seen attempts at it though, so not quite impossible. You either win or you lose. It seems to really just be the it there. A grenade makes it a little more complicated. Actually loses a Ravager, almost lost the second one, but I think only losing one Ravager is worth the tank kill. Gets the Viking even.
The Viking needed one more shot to shut down that Overlord. The Liberator coming out, I guess, could dive through and get it, but he's going to probably be thinking about going across the map with this. Or, he sets up on the ramp. I don't know, man. This is... Like, Major's doing a pretty good job of holding. If Scarlett was macroing out of this at all, Major would be falling really far behind. But he's not, or she's not, and he isn't. So they're both kind of in this awkward spot where they're dedicated to this all in, not necessarily because either of them want to be.
This is probably one of the more awkward exchanges of this build versus a decent defense, because not only are the tanks being shut down and she's dealing enough damage to make it look okay, Major's not really getting any units to help be on the offense either. Where usually at one point or another they've gotten a medevac out or they've gotten a Liberator out. He does have a Liberator, but it's not attacking, so
a couple interesting points here. First off, he did manage to sneak the Reaper around her defenses, but she did build a spine crawler back at home, so I don't think she should die to this Reaper by any means. Secondly, Major, someone's commenting about the idle SCVs in chat. He can't pull these back. If he pulls those SCVs back for even a second, Scarlett actually breaks the bunker, and then it's game over. So whether it's 5, 10, or 100, like all these SCVs on the front line are so essential. He pulls them, but perhaps it's a little too late. Grows the Miles trying to hit both. A little bit greedy. Don't kill the tank, but they do kill the tank, excuse me. But the Liberator still stands. Gross the Miles going to land now, but the bunker holding strong. Kills the Queens. Ravagers push back, and Major holds on for a little bit longer.
If he could get a supply depot up and wall off again, he probably would have this, but does body block even though the bunker goes down and their tank pops out.
I think it's worse for Scarlett. If Major now at this point, like, he doesn't have stim, he doesn't have combat shields, but if he gets a medevac out, suddenly he's got so much potential to kill. Scarlett also not having the Queen to stop the Viking. It's going to pick off the Overlords, so we're not going to see any more high ground vision. And Major, I gotta give him props. Like, keeping us calm through this weird, very all-in attack out of Scarlett. I don't think it's that easy.
It's not easy. I mean, there are definitely started off with a mistake. I think, of letting that tank die, because if he had 4 tanks right now, they'd just be like laughing his way to a victory. But because it kept getting reset, there was always that potential that she would be able to break him. But yeah, at 7 minutes, I think if you haven't broken the Terran, it's looking a little bit grim. But it's still such a weird game because they're both on not very good economy, and while technically Major can lift his base eventually, it's just the fear of creep first.
Well, so he's got a lot of creep he's got to clean up that he can't actually move down the ramp to clean up. Further by the fact that, that second command center got canceled, wasn't rebuilt up on the high ground. He doesn't actually have a second CC. It's still just the one. And that's the only reason, I don't think this is so good for him. We watched, was that Nation Wars, Innovation versus a Laser? Same sort of idea, same sort of tactics. And I think the key thing here is, Major really doesn't have that plan B. Although his units are better, and I actually really like where he's going, he's not exactly able to just lift up and take another base. There's so much creep.
Innovation eventually got enough bio to not only push back Ravagers, but also counter. Even if he got enough tanks to push back the Ravagers, which I think with 3 he does have enough now, he can't really push with 3 tanks. There's speedlings, they'd have to re-siege.
I really like what he's doing with his tank, though. It's not massive damage, but even just killing that hatchery, that stops all threat of further production. Pulling back as well, he's really worried about the Ravagers now that Overlord got at the front line, so Vision being a huge, huge threat.
She doesn't really have a lot of larvae, especially with this hatchery going down and start droning again, but it is funny, she doesn't need that hatchery anymore. If she wants to reinforce, it's probably better off to go with Lings anyway, and those are speedlings. Yeah, sorry, that one. And she does have this space, the natural, finishing up too, so...
she needed it, though, really badly. She's running out of money quick.
For sure. But Major taking out that hatchery is no longer a big deal. It wasn't being used. Well, I mean, she's not even using the larva there.
But this is kind of a big deal. Even with the creep tumors being where they are, Scarlett, is she going to see this medevac? Oh, Major. Okay, it does get revealed. So she knows there's a medevac coming across the map. She's already got a spine crawler down. She starts a spore crawler now, too, to deal with the Liberator. I think she should be okay to deal with this drop as long as she moves buildings accordingly. But if the spine crawler's in the main, for example, who cares about the main at this point? She doesn't... The only thing she needs from the main is gas. Protect that mineral line.
I definitely think she has enough Ravagers, but they're being pulled out of position.
Yeah, going back to the point of tanks, what you were saying before, because there are so many Ravagers and he didn't lose a bunch, or she didn't lose a bunch going into his ramp, she's actually got enough to stop Major from really easily pushing as well. Major doesn't just walk across these tanks and auto-win. It's not going to look like that at all.
If he managed to secretly move across the map and get sieged up, it could still be complicated, even with Cursive Vials, but there's no way he's secretly doing anything with this creep spread. So, at best, he's going to get a couple of drops off to, maybe the left side eventually, but even then, Major has yet to clean up all of the creep with the natural despite scans going into it, and I think he's with Muling, so it's not like he had 5 scans banked up.
Yeah, well, he's got the second command center finishing up, so he'll have some extra scan energy through that, but... when that hatchery died, man, the broodlings glided out of it. I don't know if you saw that. That looked really cool. I don't know if bug or intentional, or maybe we've just never noticed how broodlings leave buildings. But Scarlett's got a good amount of creep spread, not just in Major Zone Natural, but even just here through the middle of the map. This doesn't stop Major. He's not stopping to scan and clean up tumors on the way, but she sees the army coming. She knows exactly how much is coming, where it's coming from, and oh, this is so annoying. I don't think he realized he didn't clean up the tumors.
I'm surprised he didn't notice. It's supposed to continue receding if you got all the creep tumors. So that's
well, I thought for a moment he was just going to go for this base.
I was going to say, there's not many other choices of bases to take, but I guess that one would be available.
Okay, so here's how this is going to work for Scarlett, right? She's got the Ravager number, she's got the army supply to take out units as they get caught sieging and unsieging. But if it's something where she has to push into siege tanks, she doesn't have the fodder for it. But here we go. She catches Major. He can't really stop the siege. He's just got to keep running.
This on-siege tanks are so decent against Ravagers.
But they don't get the bonus.
It's overwhelming.
I think Scarlett's got it. This was a big mistake out of Major getting caught out like this.
Oh, I definitely agree.
Well, you know what? Some Marines managed to blitz in, and a tank over here is not too bad, but she does take out the majority of what the main army is, so she responds back. She's got a big army supply lead. Marines aren't going to stop anything here. Ravagers get that shot right between.
Oh, no.
Miss both. Awkward.
Yeah, I definitely think she was trying to get both at the same time.
GG, though.
But that's just it. GG.
Well played by Scarlett, but also well played by Major. That was a real humdinger of a defense. I don't know what to say about that.
So you chose humdinger?
Yeah.
I actually love that word. You ever played Cranium?
Yes.
Yeah, I love humdingers. I don't like doing them, but I like the word. Here's your humdinger. Hum this part of the song.
There's some words and phrases like humdinger, hunky dory. Like there's just like, where did these come from? Like this clearly
The
wasn't.
South. Blame the
Okay,
South.
The end. Got it.
There's the South. Yeah.
Alright,
Yeah.
well,
I mean,
so
what
here-
good words have you thought of that come from the North? Okay. Probably cool. I
Victory.
guess that's the same. That's actually a really good one.
All right. Belgier for map number 2. Let's see if MajOr can get a bit of payback on this one. Before we get into it, though, like go whenever. But what do you think? Reapers? Yes, no. What are the chances of MajOr going for it on this one?
On Belgier? I don't
Yeah.
think it's very likely at all.
I want to see MajOr proxy and like repay her for her proxy.
I mean, he might do that.
Did Juvia Loxer just write 2K instead of touche? A
2K.
It's a
2K. It's a touche and a pourquoi.
Pourquoi? That's my favorite topping to poutine. All right, again, I know that the names are wrong in the overlay compared to where they spawn, guys, but MajOr's name's on the bottom, and I don't want to futz with it. So, number title T action for me for now. In the bottom right, she leads 1-0, and all of her drones are staying at home. It's the pink Zerg player, Scarlett.
Oh. But not saying his drones, man. The top left is the Red Terran. He is MajOr.
All right. So again, for those who don't know about what's going on, this little Showmatch series is just an advertisement. It's a very blatant, very clear advertisement for our fundraiser that's going on. If people donate money, great. If they don't, whatever. But we want people to know about the fact that we're doing it, and we want to see how this is going to go, and hopefully raise enough money to keep hosting events like this on the regular instead of once in a while. Everyone here playing today is living in the BaseTradeTV house in Korea. Scarlett, MajOr, Kelzer, Cloudy, they've all been there for a while. We originally did want Time to compete because Time really impressed us during the Blizzard map contest, but he's been in, he went home to China, I guess, and he's not back just yet, unfortunately. But we've had I'd say a pretty good first couple months in the house. I'm really glad the players have been training, and for everything I've heard, they've actually really appreciated the opportunity.
They should. That's right.
Yeah.
Get it.
No, but like
That'd
my
be good.
concern, my biggest fear when we invested in this, right? Like first off, like for those who know, we've been very clear about this. We put $30K into this house, right? And that's a lot of money. That's a year's salary for most people, right? The concern was like we do this and then the players don't like it, or it turns out to not be very effective, or just like any other silly little thing. So again, maybe that's how the year ends. Maybe it all goes downhill from here. But for now, I'm very happy and pleased to hear that everyone has been saying, or the players living there rather, have had positive things to say about their stay so far.
For sure. So we do have something very important. This isn't just a couple of lings with an early pool to try and kill the SCV. This is lings that are going to try and kill the command center and are probably going to be successful.
Yeah, she pulled off of gas very precisely for, well, not very precisely, almost precisely for this, a little bit extra, but that might just be for the anticipation of Banley Nest or even more later. Point is, though, Scarlett is going to have that speed done in just a moment, so even if there is a Reaper to dance with, she can catch and kill it.
Yeah, for sure. She managed to get into the main base, so that was supposed to happen, especially the slow lings. They're going to have speed now, and they even have an evolution chamber to drop with if they do have to get out.
Well, I mean, that's Scarlett in a nutshell. She loves doing this, right? But I love that MajOr actually pulled the SCVs. Oh, Scarlett gets a surround on the reactor, though. Yeah, she can't. He can't repair this. She's gonna kill it.
Now the Reaper comes back, but again, like it can be killed. I like that he didn't bring up on the high ground. I would not have thought of that.
No,
now he has to.
I think he's just trying to buy time for that Hellion to spawn. But Scarlett's all over this, and MajOr falling apart to it in a pretty nasty way. The command center got canceled.
No. Oh, there it was. There it was. A Hellion technically isn't enough if more lings could flood in, but then the reactor's been put down.
Yeah,
so it might be, but it has to be like seriously perfect control because like one Hellion still is not that impressive.
But this is where Scarlett's potential overlord comes into play, and there we go. It did just level up, if you will, into the drop version. So she just runs around to distract, says, "MajOr, please don't look over here. Please don't notice me." It's the reverse of notice me, senpai, I guess. And she's not just unloading like 6 lings. This is a lot of lings that can easily deal with 2 Hellions.
Certainly. MajOr has had some really good control here.
Actually,
he's already got them trapped though, so not the best.
Oh, and the surround. He tries to go through the mineral lines. Not worth. GG. Scarlett.
Damn.
2-0. That was a less than 4-minute game, by the way. I just want to point that out there. So Scarlett is not just doing well, but she's helping us catch up on time. We were talking during the break about how long the cast has gone today, and thank you, Scarlett. Much appreciated. But we are going to go to a small commercial break while we get game number 3 set up, guys. So sit tight, and we'll see you for the third game here in the winner's match. And for those who don't know, by the way, winner of this best of 5 gets $100. So Scarlett, very close to locking it down. All right, folks, welcome back. We're just going to load directly into Proxima Station.
I gotta refer to this comment. I feel like it's been the same guy who's been debating with himself to try and make an issue, but just in case there isn't, I see people saying that Scarlett like used to not cheese, and I'm just like, when?
Yeah, it's actually been pretty consistent for a while now, I would even argue.
I mean, she's been on the proxy train since any of the other Koreans started doing it. Certainly, she always could do a Banling Bust or
started doing it,
or Roach Trust. Yeah, I don't remember when exactly. I feel like True just did it first. Roach Trust. She built a trust.
What is that, like a fund she doesn't get access to until she's 18, and then all of a sudden she gets 100 roaches?
And then they turn into Ravagers. Yes,
appreciation
exactly.
over time. All right, well, she's up 2-0. If she wins this third game, it'll be the fastest, like... So she what? 3 O's into a 3-0 for $100. That's not too bad.
She did have to wait 4 hours for it though, but
that's whatever. It's still $100, dude. In the top right, she's looking to close it out right here. Pull first. It's Scarlett.
in the bottom left is the red Terran. He is MajOr.
Of course, the reminder is Kelazur does play the loser of this series, so it'd be interesting to see the rematch between MajOr and Kelazur, but I do want to remind everybody that all 4 players today will get cash prizing regardless of their placement, but it is $100 for first place, $50 for second, and $25 for third and fourth. So, hey, you know what? Free dinner for some, half the rent for the others. They can do what they want with money. It's their money.
They could even...
You know, the pros always talk about like how they send their money to like to help their parents or like do this and that and the other. And the whole time, I'm just like, if I won, say, like, IEM $100,000 first place prize, the first thing I would do is, like, I wonder how much McDonald's I could buy with that.
No.
I don't mean, no, sorry, excuse me, let me clarify. I don't mean spend $100,000 on McDonald's, but go to McDonald's and see how much you could buy out before they're like, we're out of food. Like, there's no more for you to buy, man.
Even that, I don't know. I don't know. That must be at least, I want to say, like, 5,000, maybe?
Which isn't a lot in the grand scheme of things, man.
I guess it's not. I still wouldn't want to do it. Anyway,
how much do you think the dollar menu costs, Zombie Grub? Here's a hint. It's $1.
Yeah, but they have to have a lot of stuff, like, stocked. They only get a shipment, like, every week, am I right?
Okay, I need to correct this statement in the chat. Blunderful Guy says, of course Rifkin would literally spend $100,000 on McDonald's. That is such an incorrect statement, because it would be, of course Rifkin would spend $100,000 on Subway.
Subway. Yeah.
I have never talked about eating McDonald's. I actually don't even like double cheeseburger, and that's it.
Yeah, that's true. Blunderful Guy made a blunder.
Yeah, he's a blunderful guy. Oh, that's the name. It's the name of the movie. Got it. By the way, we did get some resubs we missed out on, and a new sub apparently at some point. So, Fear Flare, I'm not sure if we caught that earlier. Thank you for subbing to the channel. Sorry we missed it. Buck2 hit us up with 21 months on that resub. Non-Mint with 13 says fried Chinese leftovers, Sriracha, BaseTradeTV.
That confused me. Did you fry your leftovers? Then why did you?
What if he flied his leftovers?
Ruh-roh, Raggedy.
I think Coletto just now threw $2 into the pot saying, everybody donate $1. Well, you know what? Well, we don't even have crazy viewership right now. If we had, everyone donate $1, that'd be $1,400. That would already put us like to our next milestone for like fundraiser, I think. But c'est la vie.
Yes.
The thing is too, I wonder, I know I had this shift growing up where it was partially that I was poor, but also like paying for stuff was difficult because when I was younger, like PayPal wasn't exactly widely spread. I didn't have a credit card at that age. I wonder how much of it is ease of access for people. Because for example, I almost stopped torrenting videos, I'd say entirely over the last 3 years, and I've had no problem buying content from like Louis C.K. or others who make it easy access.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's probably a large portion of it, but Hellions get in here. Scarlett wasn't expecting that. She's still on Soul Lings. She went to go Roaches.
She was gonna block
Pulls
the ramp
around.
though. Yeah.
Not bad, not bad.
6 workers
Damage
killed.
control.
Well, so 6 workers killed sucks, but it actually wasn't that bad compared. Like 8, we've seen 4 Hellions kill like 10 plus workers before pretty easily. MajOr also burns a scan to see what was going on in the main. Like the fact that she denied the scout on top of the fact that she minimized worker loss was just like a double effective defense there for Scarlett.
Yeah, it really turned out to not be so bad, even though it looked very risky at first. Thank you to Dragon Asmodeus.
Thanks, sub.
Thanks, sub. For the new sub, Twitch Prime sub. Yeah. What were we? Oh, right, you were talking about that. Yeah, I used to have to buy MasterCard gift cards to buy Gaia Online items. That's
right?
what I first did it on.
Oh my god, I had to do that same crap. You buy like the Visa gift cards and stuff for like $10, $15, but I think you off skip for the 2-month resub, but then Milty just donated $2 to say you can't donate $1, so here's 2. Interesting. I've never messed with our threshold. I guess it's just always at the default as 2. I've never cared whether people donate 50 cents or $2, you know, like so I've never looked into that. I'll have to check that out later. Anyways,
right,
tank
so-
sets up. It's a pretty nice
very
spot.
annoying. It's not a lot of units though, so while it is a nice abusive spot, it's never gonna do oh my god amazing amount of damage. Because when she can clean this up, it'll be cleaned up very easily. She just needs to get units over there. It's only kill an extractor. In fact, it's not even pushing the drones. Huh. But an attack in the main base as well, hoping to find her in one position or another to get a lot of drone kills. Doesn't get very much at all.
Yeah, a little bit awkward because there's not enough Ravagers to tear down that Liberator, but still pushes it off nonetheless. MajOr, though, I mean, he is behind workers. This is an interesting drop. This is a very interesting way to deal with this, actually, but I think this will be incredibly effective.
I didn't think about this, but it's not so bad. I really, like, if she had just sent the Roaches behind, eventually they'd get there and that'd be fine too. But this is a little bit faster.
Well, what I love is it's not just the queen drop, but she actually brought a little bit more to go with that too, like Ravager and Lings. Like she was ready to go. That's pretty creative, I gotta say. Like that's like TLO levels of awesome. Good job, Scarlett.
She's the new TLO.
I think TLO wishes he was Scarlett. Okay, I'm doing like the finger.
Really?
thing.
You don't think that Scarlett wishes she was TLO? TLO's pretty cool.
You know, TLO is pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
But I think Scarlett's had more results, right?
Shush. Shush. But is she ever off raced in one? Wait a second.
Actually, I tell you what, they both probably don't even care if they were the other because they're both so good at being themselves. So, love yourself.
Wow, what a good way to end that on a compliment. That was a very successful end. Good job. I'm actually kind of impressed by that.
All right, well, queen. Scarlett, go for some more queens. As if she doesn't have enough already, sitting on 7. I guess she's going to keep ferrying a couple around the middle of the map. I don't mind this move, because, of course, the Overlord is much faster off of creep than queens would be, and having mobile transfuses as well as a little bit of anti-air can never be too bad. But MajOr is going to find Scarlett out of position for this. Unfortunately, while she's got great vision and Overlord spread and creep spread everywhere else, she doesn't see this attack coming to the natural base.
Main base? A little bit awkward. Is it a natural because there's no lair there? Aww. No, but it's a little bit awkward as units were out of position, but it didn't really end up doing too much. MajOr is still getting his macro set up. Second factory, combat shields, not even like halfway done. So this is going to be ideally, perfectly, she defends perfectly, like topical damage. Not much to really contribute to the game at hand. I'm kind of surprised she's attacking after seeing that drop, though, because now she really doesn't have a lot to defend this.
Yeah, MajOr shreds up that natural, or I guess, sorry, this is the natural. I get confused when I made the natural because she put the layer down here. But anyways, does damage. Meanwhile, on the other side, she's pushing into a lot of tanks that are sieged up very nicely. Queens come down, but the transfuses, will they be good enough? Roaches have pretty much already been annihilated. SCVs may have gotten pulled, but Scarlett took a lot of damage on the back end of this. If she doesn't break MajOr and kill him, I think he ends up being way better off, despite his own SCV losses. Tank's still holding strong, not dead just yet. One more shot, blasts away a few more of those roaches, and he's still going with these Marines. I think MajOr's got it. I mean, even if these tanks die now, she's still... There's another drop that came in. It's not a big drop, sure, but Scarlett's losing everything, and MajOr can always hold up at the top of his ramp.
Yeah, it's actually I think I do agree with you. Mules are gonna really help out here, even if he didn't have a worker lead, and the roaches taking a long time to clean everything up.
Aw, we got some bits. 1,000 bits coming from Lumberjack. Can we get Zambria versus Riptide Showmatch broadcasted by the Base Trade House? Oh no, that would be savage.
Oh my god, that would be some. Maybe that would give them some like.
You know what? I
but...
wouldn't say no. I think that could be something fun. But the thing is, like, Zambria and I've done so many show matches, I just don't know why you guys find it appealing anymore.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's frustrating because you play mac and you cheese, so I'm not on board.
Well, in fairness, Mac's pretty garbage in TVT right now. I haven't been able to pull it off in months. Feels bad, man.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. I don't want to push into siege things, Ripkin, and you're gonna have a lot of them.
No, I mean, I think it's fun if we do something kind of silly outside of just a normal 1v1, but that's what people really want to watch.
You know what I would love to do, actually, is a free-for-all with folks either in the house or otherwise. That would be fun.
Can we do like a kickball tournament? You know, where we have to, like, one of us is captain. We have to choose our favorites. And the person who's picked last gets really, like, down about themselves and really upset. No, you ever had that experience? Alright.
I was always picked first. I was so good at sport.
Yo, me too! We should pick each other. Then we'll have the best team of kickball in all the land. Clearly.
I'm pretty sure if we did that, we would just lose very quickly. I don't think we'd have the best team at kickball.
Plus, can't even play on American soil.
I was gonna say, in America, isn't it like banned now too?
And it's not banned all over the place. It's not like adults go out. You get caught by the cops.
It's illegal. We were playing California kickball officer. It's the nice version, I swear. Alright, big concave out of Scarlett. Tanks were not involved with the fight initially, so she takes out a lot of bio without too many repercussions. But now there's 6 tanks firing and the roaches start disappearing. For as good as a fight this may have started off, it's going to end really rough for both sides.
Right, both sides. So while the tanks really started digging into the roaches and ravagers, there just wasn't a lot left over, so any minimal spreading was very effective for her units.
I kind of forgot about bits, man. We haven't got any in so long. Thank you to Dovenwolf for another 1,000 bits. Much appreciated.
Yeah, kickball is banned for the same reason dodgeball is banned. You can play kickball if there's no pegging.
Wait, dodgeball's banned too? There's a movie about it, though. It's a national treasure.
Well, the reason they were banned was because someone got pegged, and someone made a big deal about it.
Isn't something like girls do?
Yeah, well, we're done then.
Moving on. Drop comes into the main. And I guess MajOr is going to catch Scarlett a little bit off guard with this, but she does break his tanks in the middle of the map, and this should be pretty easy for her to push into him and really peg him up against that wall.
Anyway, there's been a lot of talk, but there was that point in the game where we just weren't sure if Scarlett was able to recover, and she did recover pretty nicely.
Yeah.
She's down 10 workers and is now even up a little bit in workers. Her upgrades managed to stay even. In fact, they were ahead, but not for any of the engagements. But now they are falling behind, as of course it makes sense that the Terran will get them a little bit faster.
Well, the big thing is, like, she's on 5 bases, one of which is a gold. Well, sorry, excuse me, on the way to 5 bases, but one of which is a gold, which is the point I want to highlight. And when it comes down to it, like, MajOr's not exactly hurting for cash himself, but it's like with a yet, with like an asterisk. So much of this is him being all over the place with mules. I mean, look at that income graph. It is bananas to look at. This is gonna be the most erratic income graph we've ever seen. And unfortunately, without a proper 4th, he's gonna have a really hard time pushing forward in this game. Scarlett, in the meantime, lose the gold, transfer over to the 5th.
Sure. I think, though, when MajOr does take the 4th, it'll be a very secure 4th, despite not being a planetary. So whenever that does happen, I would put him in an A-OK position. He's hitting a 4th command center, I guess, but I think he should just take with his main base. Take the other one with a 4th, because he'll be pushing from this point, and he's getting a decent tank count back up to 6.
Yeah, Fester's out. Do manage to get a couple of awkward fungals off, but they both land. And Scarlett's already like halfway to the hive. So while this game has been kind of scrappy for her here in the mid game, once this gets to late game, I feel like it's just going to favor even more. Like, she's been behind in upgrades. That'll get gapped. She'll be on Ultralisk, which are way better than roaches at taking these hits. Hatchery over here going down is actually going to suck. She did manage to save this with some transfuses, which was nice.
Yeah, I was going to say, if she had lost 2 hatcheries to marine drops, that would have been pretty bad, because they also lived, so really bad, but Does save 1, and it is the gold base, so she's on her way up to that hive you're talking about. But MajOr, I think he has a decent push here. It's not just about the army supply, as he's in fact down 10 army supply, but it's his upgrades and his tank count.
Yeah, the tank count didn't look so impressive before because he didn't have the strongest army to buffer for it. But now the fact that he's got that upgrade lead, a couple of these fungals are grabbing these units, which is nice. He's got that. He's gonna have to watch out for her burrow. Like that's gonna be really tough to deal with. Honestly, infestors are just so hard to notice while they're moving around underground.
Well, now MajOr is down 40 army supply, so like he's losing the drops. Really hurt there.
You know what? That also
Medevac
culls his
Marines.
medevac count. He's down to 3 medevacs. That's gonna be rough.
And he'd have to have double the tank supply, I think, to make up for 50 overall army supply being down. Like that. This might just get swamped, but I think Scarlett's trying to hold on as long as possible. She does lose the base. I don't think that was part of the plan.
I was really hoping rather than fungals we see infested Terrans actually come down on top of the tanks, but that missile turret was supposed to detect. Fungals land on top of the bio. Corsair bios hit everything. And MajOr's tanks were actually doing way better than expected.
Well, that was kind of an awkward fight in general. She took a lot of time missing Corsair bios, hitting the fungals on medevacs are kind of almost going to be dead with the corruptors. But yeah, the tanks once again shine through, as they did the last engagement. The ones that barely even survived this time, which is nice. So he was going to have them for later. But the Broodlords are on the way, and they are a counter to tanks. 2 of them isn't a counter to anything.
Well,
3 is a little bit better, but I think it's 6 where Broodlords really are like, oh shit, I gotta respond to this.
Yeah, it'll definitely cut down. I like the choice to go for the Broodlord direction instead of Ultralisk because of how tank heavy MajOr's been. If this was a game where he was playing Liberators or anything else, like then you can consider it. But this has been tanks, and more tanks. You know what? You know what happened in this game?
What's that?
MajOr brought his army over to Scarlett's base, and she said, "No tanks." I need to have like a drum snare on like some sort of soundboard ready to cue up for the stuff like that.
I thought you were gonna bring it back to another conversation we had because chat hasn't gotten over that one.
Oh, what conversation is that?
About the use of Google as a search engine.
You mean Bing?
To learn about things you didn't know. Bing. All right, so she has grown the count of Broodlords to 4 now. Like, hold on there, but it's still not very impressive. It's certainly not enough with, you know, a very small ground army to push forward with this tech advantage. And MajOr, like I said, he managed to get that 4th base, which he's gonna have, I think, no matter what, really, with how even this game has been. And now has a 5th too, and is even getting a 6th base. So his economy can afford back to double tanks, back to double medevacs, a 2nd starport.
I think I see the misunderstanding here, by the way. I thought pegging was an acronym for pretty elegant gaming guys in night garb. And MajOr is usually walking around in his pajamas in the house. Does this mean something else?
I always thought it's when you had to climb those pegboards in school. So, you know. I'm just as confused as you are.
Sure. I believe that. That's totally believable, Zombie Grump. At least
like
mine was
Ian.
creative.
What? I mean, to be honest, that's really what I thought it would have been if someone had asked you anything I can fix. Anyway.
How do
So,
you... you know what bugs me, guys? I know she's beating me at poker, and I'm like, how? You got the worst poker face. You're so bad at lying. Like, I don't understand.
What part of this is lying?
You know what? Don't worry about it. It's all good. You're right. Hey, 9 Marines at a
Do you
time.
actually think...
4 Vikings is a lot of good ways to start clearing out these Broodlords. Scarlett, unfortunately, didn't start replacing a lot of the infestors that died. I mean, don't get me wrong, 6 is still nice, but it's going to be really hard to use 6 against siege tanks and a hell of a lot of Marines.
Yeah, and there's already Vikings on the way. Scarlett, I thought, had a better game here going to those Broodlords, but that engagement, the one where she was up 40 army supply, it just didn't go well enough to have a supreme change in a Broodlord. There was kind of a slow change and not a lot supporting it. So Scarlett's what she really needs now is some Lings running around denying these orbitals.
Ooh, I'm loving these scans. Keep looking for these infestors too. MajOr really wants to pick them off and not get caught. I mean, small amounts of Marines, it's hard to make them work. He knows that too, but the sacrifices that need to be made as he keeps scanning. Broodlings, though, forcing the tanks to friendly fire, and they friendly fire for a lot. 70 damage on armored is so much. Minor drop over here, but there's really nothing for Scarlett. This is Overlords and like a little bit of Larva. Like that hatchery is pretty much dunzos as far as being effective. The Vikings going to have to chew through the Corruptors, and they can do precisely that, but not if they get fungal growth. MajOr keeps scanning, and he keeps seeing these infestors.
Oh, this is a dangerous move. I don't know about this. He actually stims in, thinking he has enough Marines
She lands a fungal.
to kill the Broodlords. Maybe that's true.
Well, you know what, though? It kind of worked out as he continues to push through. Scarlett's running out of things to defend with. The Corruptors do take out the Vikings, but that's not the threat. The threat are these Marines.
No,
Oh, maybe not for long, though.
Please.
Yo, I love this is like the 6th battle that's been hella scrappy. Because here's the thing about the tanks, right? It doesn't matter as long as all the Marines die. One Broodlord will stop everything else from going through, but
Oh my
that
God,
Broodlord
Marines are
goes
so
down.
good. Wow, 4 Marines killed a Broodlord.
You know what? Marine walks into a bar, says, "Where's the counter?"
that was pretty baller. Although I really do think that if she had queens that had more energy, she probably would have won that fight even like really well. 6 chance fuses would have saved quite a few Broodlords, but not the case. And MajOr is still rallying even on this very, very large map. He's done enough damage to her economy just to, and she had to bring all the queens forward, so she probably has a Lara problem. Nope, she doesn't, but she might have.
Don't get me wrong, I'm rooting for MajOr. I didn't want to see him go down 3-0 by any means, but this was this is still like a tough game. Like no fight in this game has been clean for either player.
No,
she's got one fungal. She's a fungal.
I thought she was gonna use it, but nope.
Let's see here. MajOr, I mean, he's got some pretty nice income while this goes on. In fact, I'm going to take a look at the graph real quick. And yeah, with Scarlett for a while, but it's all in MajOr's favor now. And it's not because of mules. It's just got better bases mining.
Yeah. Again, like a handful of Lings could have easily denied some of these outside bases because only one of them was a planetary.
What is this run by?
It's a creep killing run by.
These are like the 3 clowns in the forest everyone keeps calling the cops on.
Yo, those things are legit scary.
They dived, like, I don't know if you guys realize, they dived through the base, through the mineral, they ran through the army, and somehow Scarlett missed it. These rocks are up. I don't know. Okay,
just
whatever.
Like any clown, they're very sneaky, Rifkin. What?
That's the sound
that your clowns made.
That's the sound I imagine. That's the sound I imagine. Yeah, the little horn that they're playing with, or the whatever it is. Like, you don't press a toy horn and it doesn't go honk. Like, it makes a honking sound.
Kind of like honk.
It's not a Pokemon zombie grab. It doesn't just say its like name.
I think that's
honk, 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 honk.
I think it's why it's called that. Oh, God. Job's going to the main base. Not much there to defend.
Well, I'd say the Ravager, the Roach Nest going down is going to kind of suck, or Roach Warren, excuse me.
Well, I meant, yeah, the Broodlings can help defend, but there's just like, the Roaches take forever to come back here.
Oh, I thought you meant like there's not anything here worth defending. But the point is, this has been the majority of Scarlett's army for a while. So, sort of the easy beef, because they're cheap and effective to make, but really, this game's moving towards these Broodlords and these Corruptors and these Infestors. I don't know how important that snipe was. We'll find out in a moment. Front line comes in. They dive through once again, looking for this Broodlord kill. She's got some transfuses, though. Transfuse them before you translose them.
It's not enough. Like, if the Roaches that she had just sent up there were here, it might have been. Goes to the base and ends up backing off. So, okay, they hold, they live.
But MajOr still loses a lot of army to make this happen. Like, it's a good snipe. Her economy is hurting for sure compared to his, but it's still throwing away a lot of tanks. He doesn't exactly have like thousands of Marines in the queue waiting. Like, in fact, these drops that look like they got cleaned up too. Scarlett's hurting for money though, and I think that's really what's killing her more than anything else.
Yeah, but if she continues surviving, then there is that chance she eventually gets to a very good army, like 12 Broodlords, 15 Corruptors, a handful of Ravagers and Infestors. Like that's an army that maybe MajOr takes a bad engagement to. But I do feel like eventually she's gonna get it broken before that point, and this might be it here. Once again, saving that Broodlord though.
What? You timed that guy out because he said he liked your hair before?
I have a problem with these things. I purged him. Yeah, I purged him. But I will get into that after this game ends.
Okay, sure. I mean, don't get me wrong. I really like your blonde hair a lot. I just... like, okay, sure. Just didn't seem scold worthy. The purge, fine. I just like, why'd you like?
No, okay, so this game isn't ending yet, but I really think it's very weird when people just bring up stuff like that without anyone ever asking. Like, if I asked you, like, my hair brown or blonde, and you're like, oh, I kind of like the brown better, I wouldn't be like, well, that's rude to say. I'd be like, okay, thank you for, like, saying that. But if someone's just like, you know what, we're not talking about your hair at all, or your face, or anything at all, but I feel like commenting on it, I'm just gonna be like, don't do that.
But so, here's my counter thought, right? And don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to defend creeps or anything, but it's like, this guy cares enough to talk about your hair, like this wasn't a statement where he brought up out of nowhere saying, like, you know what, hair. He's like, you know, these are pretty good casters, but also, by the way, I like your hair brown.
That's
like, that doesn't sound so
out
bad.
Of nowhere, in my opinion.
I don't know, man. We got different points of view on this one, I guess. But
okay.
drop comes through the main. I just people talk about my hair. Is what this comes down to. Okay.
Oh, that's the problem here.
I try so hard to grow it and like have it be a, it's on my head. I just wish people would talk about it more.
All right then. We can get them to talk about it.
Well, I think mission accomplished probably through this conversation. Although I will say, if you could have like Fabio style, like Fabio luxurious levels of hair, would you go for it? Because I feel like my fear would be it would be so much maintenance. It'd be so difficult to deal with.
Fabio levels of hair.
Fabio levels of glorious hair.
My bad. Sorry. Isn't that just in control? He sends his hair. No, I'm just kidding. I don't think I would go for it. I mean, I don't really like caring for my hair, so the fact that I even have to more than it's blonde is kind of annoying. I wouldn't do it.
See, look, that guy says my hair is beautiful. Thank you, Bonzi. Man, you know what I just did? I just did like the equivalent of like those high school girls who like post a totally fine picture. So I think I look really fat in this picture. Fishing for the compliments from all the guys. Be like, no, you look great. You look beautiful. You look so nice. I just did that with my hair. Mission accomplished. You guys got baited, fools.
Sometimes you just need to.
In fact,
okay.
to prove you guys so wrong, I'm just going to shave my head once the cast is done. Let's get rid of it all.
Well, sure. If you're gonna do it though, you should make a donation goal.
Well, back on track.
Concave, but a lot of fungals. And that bio was still pretty like, yeah, it's
The Vikings don't win this time easily either. They were able to so quickly roll over the Corruptors last time, but these fungals not even necessary for the Vikings. The bleed damage here is there's just not enough medivacs to keep those Marauders alive, and Scarlett starts bringing it back.
Brood Lord's the key to everything. Now, holding on this long was the key to everything. She was being harassed, she was losing bases, she lost important tech. I barely survived with a handful of Brood Lords. The story of this game, though, is like, you're saying Brood Lords plural, but so much of this has almost been like Brood Lord in a lot of these instances, right? Like, she's never really had more than like 5. Like, this hasn't been like crazy Brood Lord Infestor days of Brood Lords, but Brood Lord Infestors certainly to be had. MajOr's been doing a really good job, though, of consistently scanning. This lets the tank shoot the Infestors on the ground, sure, but he's also been diving forward with a lot of these Marauders to pick them off specifically. I think he's in this problem now where he might be a little too far behind, and I don't think you come back from this, but he played such a good game here in Map 3. I wish this is what game number 1 had looked like. Yeah. Well, yeah. This game number 3, so if he's going to lose it here, then that's that, but it was a cool game. Probably would also been easier for Scarlett if she did have some type of harassment. This was a game all about her defending, and she did a very good job of it. But I'm sure MajOr also maybe overestimated his position once or twice, diving in like he did for those Brood Lords. They didn't look like they were protected enough. I probably would have done the same thing, right? While having 5 bases still mining, you would think that'd be okay.
Well, especially combined with the fact that he had such success with like 4 Marines picking up Brood Lords, 3 Marines picking up Brood Lords. Like, it looks really appealing, right? But unfortunately, it's the Broodlings that are making these tanks his greatest own enemy. I mean, so much of his bio just died to tank fire, not to Broodlings.
Yeah.
He's forced to give up the base. That's going to go down to the Corruptors. That's unfortunate. I mean, he's got so many other bases. He's been having so much control of the game up to this point. And the resources lost is crazy. I mean, they're both combined almost at like 100,000 resources lost this game. It's kind of how IEM feels, I guess, after paying out that prize money, the first place.
Heyo. Well, that probably won't happen in 6 months.
6 months, that's generous.
Tanks going down to Corrosive Biles, and MajOr, I mean, he doesn'd have a bad army, but he'd need a better concave. He'd need not to get fungled. He'd need to unload his medevacs, and it's just, Everything was all types of awkward.
If Scarlett loses this game, it's probably just because her corruptors weren't fast enough.
Probably. They accelerated a bit more. I mean, it would have really changed now.
This is. I really thought MajOr was gonna bring it back. I was like really praying for the comeback. We go to game 4, but looks like Scarlett has got this on lockdown. It's a little bit too much. The production is just not gonna be good enough, even if he had the money, which he doesn't, to push her back. So 10 Marines at a time, almost no gas whatsoever. That might just be a bit of Terran complacency. He never checked the extra refineries, so he can't build extra Vikings. He can't build more medevacs.
MajOr is taking out important bases now, the mining bases. So Scarlett would not be able to remake an army. Okay, he's not gonna take out this one, but it doesn't matter. The army that she has right now is too good.
Yeah, rip in pepperoncinis. Ladies and gentlemen, I think Scarlett has pretty much secured that $100 first place prize. And looking to just finish the group number 1.
Number 1, 1 for 100.
MajOr does catch some of the reinforcements, which is kind of cool, and he's still mining off of the only bases that are really worth mining off of. I mean, this is such a funny spot. Like, Scarlett is still, in my opinion, going to win this game, but I just realized with those losses in the middle of the map, that supply gets evened up pretty quickly. So maybe counting your chickens before they hatch.
That's a saying I don't hear very often.
Or, you know, it's counting
yes.
your eggs before they hatch, right? I guess it's the same difference, though.
Oh. Well, why would you... Wait. No, it's gotta be you count your chickens, because, like...
But you have to count the... To count the chickens, you have to count the eggs.
Yeah, but if you're counting the eggs, you could just be counting them because you want to make a hard-boiled egg.
Okay, so really key and actually important thing happened that I guess I didn't notice. MajOr actually managed to snipe off the Greater Spire at some point. I was wondering why she wasn't making more Broodlords.
Right. She... Like, that was actually a long time ago. I didn't mention it even when I saw it, but she had, like, from, I think, like, 7 minutes ago or something insane like that, she's been remaking the Hive and the Spire. She did definitely have a gap where she just wasn't bothering to build a Greater Spire, probably because she thought she was going to win.
You know what?
No.
I really wish there was, like, a damage meter of sorts in this game. I would love to know whether the Broodlings and the Broodlords did more damage or the Infestors this game. So much of Scarlett's army damage has always been through, like, the massive fungals. Like, she's not catching 1 or 2 units. She's hitting, like, 40 units, and it's taking for, like, 10 or 40 damage a shot. Like, that's a lot of damage.
Huh? Oh, there's actually this really cool thing in IEM that happened, but it's kind of a spoiler.
Yeah, don't talk about it then.
Well, you know what? It's really not. I could just say, like, a Zerg player did this to another player when they had Broodlords.
You could always just not do it, too, because...
You know what's a really cool thing for Zerg players to do with their Broodlords? Is attack another Broodling so that more Broodlings spawn and chase.
Okay, so that's actually something that is relevant when you talk about it like that, because Scarlett has discussed that many times and done it herself.
Haha. They just recently Hive-lived for some reason or another.
But yeah, it would be cool to see, but I don't know how necessary right now. Like, if there's a huge entrenched line of tanks, then I think, like, yeah, it's a great tactic. Force some friendly fire from a much safer distance, no less.
Yeah, I guess that's actually a good choice too. But I was thinking more when he was, like, retreating, which is not the case anymore. Obviously, it's actually been back to Scarlett defending.
I love the chat is essentially literally turned into a chicken or the egg conversation through this. This is amazing. Sorry. Love you guys, but what the fuck?
Gotta have the important philosophical questions.
What's Schrodinger's egg, I guess?
I hate Schrodinger's cat, man. I think it's the stupidest fucking idea in the book, anyways.
Why? It
really
actually makes a lot of sense.
Not even gonna into this. It has swung back in a MajOr's favor, and it's actually getting a little bit of deja vu. Once again, Scarlett with a more impressive army this time, but still not that impressive of an army defending this very important base.
Well, so it's really slow, though, is the problem. And that's where the power of MajOr's drops have been all game. Like, she's only really been able to send back a couple of roaches. You know, she can't bring back the Infestors. She can't bring back the Broodlords. Hell, she can barely even bring back the Queens in a lot of these cases. So if MajOr, like, whatever for the main army, which is good, but if you were doing, like, a ton of drops beside or behind this, I'd like that a lot more. There we go. Double drops to the bottom right where Scarlett just got a brand new base up and running. MajOr should have no problem knocking this down. Oh, she made problems. Roaches got here pretty quick.
Well, he's trying to bring out the important units that are protecting the Broodlords. This is so deja vu, man. The fungals went down.
Oh my god, there's not a medevacs.
Broodlords.
All these Marines are just popping off to the fungal damage.
And her roaches are now coming back after dealing with that drop, so I
She's
think
got a couple
her
fungals
Broodlords
still.
are still protected.
These Marines are still clumped up. If she lands one of those fungals, Corsair is going to clear everything up for Major. She's got about 3 full energy infestors, I want to say. She's got plenty of opportunity to try and kill this army, but as we see, friendly fire from the tanks is killing Major more than the Broodlings are killing Major.
Those like, oh, this is like the same exact position. It's just blowing my mind here that it's the same scenario where Major probably still felt that would be worth it because he does have decent mining. But it's definitely not as decent. It's not even good, actually. It's like better than nothing right now. But it's something that he thought he would do a better job attacking into. Now this ended up being a good trade. The tanks hit down from above. And the fungal does go down.
It's actually a trick, Zombie Grub. This is a replay while you weren't looking, and I rewound it to the point where we saw this happen before.
See, I believe that if he had those 2 middle bases at the top left, but he never retook them despite having another orbital. This one was chased off, I guess, from landing, and Major is running out of money.
Well, I actually built this one up here, so I think what happened was he probably tried to take it to where the creep was, right? Unable to take it because of the creep. But these roaches outranging the planetary is certainly annoying.
Oh, yeah. By the way, you caster jinx. So glad Scarlett was playing super fast games.
I casted Jinx it twice too because Scarlett was gonna win this game. She's locked down first place, $100. So double.
That's right.
Turns out there's no such thing as a double negative in caster cursing.
I guess I gotta go cancel my lesson. I feel really bad though. I at least like want to do it before, you know, a certain amount of time.
By the way, thank you to Dunbar98 for the new sub. Glad to have you on board. I don't know if we caught that earlier or not. This has just been such an action-packed game. I haven't been looking at Twitch alerts.
Oh, yeah. But, Broodlords this time aren't protected, but the Transfuses try and save them.
Oh, God.
Not going to happen. That last one is going to go down, too. There you go. And those are the units that she's been depending on to win engagements. Without them, I think she finally loses.
Yeah, all the roaches just funneled back. It looks like Major is... Well, I don't want to call it because I've been wrong. So we'll just leave it where it is and see how this plays out. But the point is, Scarlett's army is non-existent. Her drone count down to 17. And persistence being his best friend, Major. I gotta say, what blows me away about this game, here we are like 40 minutes in, and this was a game where every fight was scrappy. More than 60% of the fights were barely like 4 or 5 units remaining, right? Like this is the type of series I would love to do another best of 69 with. I'm not saying we will. Don't get your hopes up, guys. Never happening again.
Can last 36 minutes.
Anyways, we're going to go to a commercial break. 2 minutes. We'll get to game number 4, and we'll see you guys here in a moment. All right, folks, we're back. Thanks for watching that break. We're getting into game number 4 here. It's on Honor Grounds. We had Noman Brain just reached up for 17 months. Thanks for coming back. Says happy Sunday. Keep up the good work, Rifkin and Zombie Grub. And also, I just talked about this during the break. Terminator, I just retweeted it. Showed a graph from that game that we'd obviously not seen because we were so busy with the chicken and the egg talk, right? But 10 minutes straight, Major having that income lead is a pretty good explanation of how he's able to make that come back and how he's able to make that game work so well for him. But yeah, I'm blown away and astonished at all the folks in chat who didn't know about our best of 69. I feel like it is the most notable, notorious, and ridiculous thing we ever did. I was 100 pounds heavier back then too, pretty much. Maybe not 100, like 60. But the point is, 18.5 hours straight casting. It was all macro games, no cheese, Bunny versus Snoot. The prize pool started at $100, and we ended up raising up to $4,000, I think it was, close to something like that, for the players, thanks to folks donating like $6.90, $69. Like, it just kept coming in through the day, and we ended up raising a ton of money for the players, which was really cool. Cyber and I got like $200 for the day, what fucking ever. But the point is, like, it was awesome seeing the community come together and enjoy something so crazy and stupid. I also don't remember most of it because I think it was like after game 30, we were just gone. Like, our brains didn't work. We're just there to facilitate the stream.
I don't remember any of it except laughing at the positions and the Vikings, the Viking game. Like that's really what I remember.
Yeah, that's about my same highlights for sure. I don't even remember the very last game. But the point is, we've got all those videos on YouTube. It took 18.5 hours straight. If you guys are a monster enough to watch it all, I applaud you. But yeah, it was crazy times. We even had Bly come cast a little bit to try and alleviate some of the pain.
Yeah, blind Xenocider.
Xenocider, yeah. Scarlett was supposed to, but she bailed.
Was she? Really? Yeah. That was before Homestray Cup, wasn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, that would have been interesting.
All right, folks. Game number 4, possibly the last game still, as she leads 2-1 here in the finals of the group. In the bottom right side, we've got the Queen of Blades, Scarlett.
What the fuck is she doing? In the top right, is the Red Terran. It is MajOr.
So it's technically closer to MajOr's base.
I've never seen this. You can proxy gateways and barracks in the middle of 4-player maps if you are crazy.
Well, this reminds me of what Protoss players will do
hatcheries?
on like Cactus Valley and other 4-player maps, right? Like you just kind of roll the dice a bit, put it halfway in between.
That, for like a Stargaze, what you're talking about, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was thinking of like back on Frost when you put it in the middle of the Zelnaga, or even Cactus Valley, you put it in the Zelnaga, 2 barracks or 4 gateways. Like I remember that happening, and that was still crazy. But I've never seen a Zerg player do it because you do with a Stargate, you do roll the dice, but even if you're not close, it still could be a surprise because you hit it. The hatchery, it very rarely is based off the surprise. Well, that's not the correct way to say it. It's the timing of the surprise, I guess. And okay, unfortunately, MajOr scouts incorrectly first. But if he had scouted correctly at a decent time, he'd be like, okay, what the fuck is happening? Have time to think about it. Have time to be like, where the hell is the hatchery? He doesn't have to worry about creep spread getting closer to his base anytime soon. So now that spine crawlers were a problem, but the denial on his bases aren't a problem either, like they were.
By the way,
on that Abyssal game.
just quickly interjecting with big thank you to Snark Angel, who donated $10 to the match arena directly, so helping us beef up that that fundraiser over there. And again, like for those who don't know, this whole tournament, this fun thing, like if you want to see more of this, we need to raise more money on the fundraiser. This isn't like, please guys, we need the money, but this is like, if we can get the money, we have plans to do really cool, really fun, consistent in-house tournaments, kind of like what you're seeing now. And I would love to be able to keep producing some more of this, but this once-off show match has been a lot of fun. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. And again, big shout out to all the members of the BaseTradeTV house staying in Korea. We got one more match after this still, so I'm not getting too far ahead of ourselves. But 4 Reapers can kill everything here.
Yeah, so this is another interesting about this game, besides the hatchery, is that it's a cheese versus a lot of Reaper cheese. And we have seen this before, believe it or not, the Ravager Rush. Not the proxy hatch Ravager Rush, but a Ravager Rush.
Just regular Ravager Rush, yeah.
Yeah, against 3 Rax Reapers, and the Reapers won. So, you know, I can't say for sure that's what's going to happen here, but I kind of feel like that's what's going to happen. Because they're great offensively, clearly. The Roaches are out of position for 1 second. You know, 5 drones go down, but they're also not bad at all defensively. And then it's another thing. It's honor grounds, you know? So even if you could get a cancel on their natural base, you know, you'd have to be in their base to do it. It'd be super awkward.
This low ground bunker is actually really cool. I like that a lot. Didn't work out to stop because MajOr wasn't focusing on it. He was busy focusing elsewhere on the map, but that was a really cool thing that would have stopped the Ravagers from getting over it at least so easily. But anyway, Scarlett does make Ravagers at home. These push back the Reapers. They're going to come clean up these Roaches, and then we'll see if he keeps dedicating to it. I mean, MajOr's already 10 to 13 Reapers deep. Yeah,
they're going to kill the Roaches, no problem.
Well, the question is, like, does he keep going for this behind it, though? Because Scarlett does have Ravagers. And I mean,
right.
Like, this is not going to be easy to break Scarlett back at home.
That is true. Like, this is not him taking on that army that quickly. But it doesn't... I would hope that even, like, whether he goes Reapers or not, the only bad thing he could do is over-dedicate with the actual attack. I think if he wants to continue going, like, 5 Reapers deep and eventually gets 30 Reapers, I think that might still win, really. But as long as he doesn't attack before that point, I think he has a winning position. And I do think it would be smarter for him to go ahead and transition out of this, but okay. The Reapers just take on the Ravagers. Alright.
This normally doesn't work with auto attack. Oh, he blows up a lot of his own Reapers, so it's okay. Shit, he was running away with that and then killed himself. He literally shot himself in the foot.
Yes. Stepped on a grenade.
Yo.
Broke everyone's back.
I gave this man an apology at the start of stream, but I need to follow this up now with an I love you. Because Saffron is apparently one of my brothers from another mother, a fellow Canadian. Good to see, good to hear. And I got a Canadian lurking on the call. Terminator, hello?
Hey.
You know what happens when Americans meet other Americans?
They're very rude to each other.
No, Americans are very nice to people on the outside. Excuse you. And then second of all,
Like, watch where you're walking.
no, it's New Yorkers, man. Anyways, at first we ask each other, "Do you like Trump?" And if they say yes, you don't talk to them. But if they say no, you're like, "Oh, thank God." Isn't it sucky to be an American? And you're just like, "Yep, it is. It really is." And then you just groan and moan about it all the time. That's what happens. It's like being an American.
Yo, let's get, like, I know there's a lot of other people here. Let's get this in chat. Type 1 if you're Canadian, 2 if you're American. Let's see who we got more of tonight. Not that it matters, but I'm just curious. As Reapers continue to push in, though, he is going to focus fire on top of the Ravagers. They are a lot squishier than those Roaches, but the grenades, oh, going to get some good hits, but the Reaper numbers are falling quick. Scarlett's still holding on to the Ravagers, and MajOr loses a lot of supply while she takes a third base.
Okay, so MajOr's kind of doing that thing I was talking about, where he is losing his army before it's truly unbeatable, but I still think he's winning the game. Third CC on the way, on location.
Oh, damn, there's a lot
Finally getting up to the barracks, or the factory, rather.
There's a lot of Americans in chat. I wasn't expecting that.
America.
I was on the Canada hype train. I was hoping Canada would outnumber this one.
How many of you want to moan and grin about Trump?
Type anything.
I gotta be like, usually if you're traveling, not within the United States, but I mean to international countries, like I don't even really think you have to ask. I think it's like universal that people travel a lot. Anyways, politics aside, no. MajOr's still winning, but this game looks so weird, and I still heavily question, not heavenly, heavily question why it was the build that it was chosen. I don't know.
So, just a quick note here. Tannis Finest is, I'm unsubbing because I don't agree with hating on people because they support the President of the United States. By all means, man, you do you. Just do me a favor, though.
You go ahead.
I just hope you keep enjoying the StarCraft we have. Political. This is why we try usually is whatever politics, but you know, we've got our opinions, you get yours, but I think at the end of the day, I don't really give a fuck who's president if we're all watching StarCraft together.
Wait a second. I never hated on anyone. I just said that you walk away.
Actually, yeah, you did give a very Canadian description of that situation.
Yeah, and that's legitimately what you usually do if you disagree with politics. Like, it's the same thing for anything that's kind of like, it's the big no-nos of conversation, right? You're like, oh, we brought this topic up accidentally and we disagree? Well, maybe we should just probably either walk away or just completely disregard the topic.
Yeah, fair enough.
So, you know.
All I know
don't unsub.
is that I don't really care much for regarding who supports who, but the actions of the person you're supporting. And I don't know,
yeah,
man.
I mean, to be honest.
As an outsider looking in, America looks like a shit show. I'm going to be completely honest. But that's about where my opinion ends. I don't care if you support the guy who makes it a shit show or not. By all means, you do you. Like I said, end of the day, if we're watching StarCraft together, that's all I give a fuck about.
Enough politics. Let's discuss religion.
All right, so about Christianity.
Exactly.
Or
It
better
just ruined
yet,
everything.
about Scientology.
Oh no, that's a great religion.
I would actually say there's not a lot of people I would alienate or try to actually be visceral to, but Scientology, if you're a Scientologist, get the fuck out of here.
Maybe they're nice Scientologists.
All right, Scarlett does get caught with a drop. You know, I don't want to jinx it, but this is looking closer and closer to Game 5.
It is. Well, I mean, I thought it was 5 minutes ago, but you know, Scarlett, she's very good defending. And she's still trying, man. She was down to 39 drones last game too, right? Lasted 30 minutes.
This isn't like MajOr went 2 bases, like go for this like really dedicated all in attack. Like he's doing great behind all of this, and I really thought the Reapers would be too costly and too much and be too difficult to actually play a game off of having invested so much into such a failed endeavor, you know?
Yeah. I wonder, I don't think I consider MajOr's Reapers a failure despite that failure of walking on the grenades, but maybe I do. Maybe they both kind of failed. Anyway. This game's not gonna end too soon, man.
Well, it might though. The thing is, like, for Scarlett, I don't think she's really got a very easy plan B, and MajOr's got such a big army lead. Like, if he If he takes advantage once and bullies her to submission once, I don't think she gets up and recovers.
Yeah, she's got no planned brood lords.
Well, that's what the B stands for, apparently.
Yeah. I mean, this honestly looks like an attack that should end the game. But yet I'm hesitant to say so because, you know, Ravager shots, maybe MajOr's very concerned about how last game went. He's like, I almost lost that game like a dozen times. So he doesn't push in. That's why I say I don't think it's going to, you know, end anytime soon, but I think it could. I think maybe it should. But it might not. Even as she loses another 7 drones, she's remaking them. Got this.
I forgot I did tease that we would potentially tell you, someone brings this up in chat, potentially tell you guys who we were thinking about sponsoring on the stream today. The thing is, we talked over the details with him. So there you go to him. Not that.
Oh.
Whoa, there's your first big hint. Secondly, we're all in agreement for terms. We don't have anything actually signed. So I don't want to, like, announce who it is and then something awkward happen and, like, the contract gets not happen and it just doesn't work. So I was hoping to have everything good to go, but Korean translating makes the process very slow. However, all things look good. The person in question, they like the jersey design we've come up with, and I think that'll be a lot of fun to have on the team. We're starting with a three-month contract, and if it all goes good, we'll go further. But anyways, GG gets called. MajOr finally pushes it through for Game 5, but here's where this gets super awkward, guys. I have to go. I don't have time to stay for longer. So I was hoping we would finish the series and just be swapping off for the last best of 5. But I for those who didn't see it, I messed up my leg pretty bad. Pictures on Twitter. I want to go get this properly bandaged up. So thank you so much for watching. Don't go anywhere. The stream's not actually done. We're just doing like a stream handoff. So Zombie Grub's going to cover the rest of the stuff today. It's only one more best of 5 in this one particular game. But we'll play some ads while we swap off, and hopefully it'll be a bit seamless. We're not using a stream delay, which is nice, so the stream will just go down and come right back up. But thank you guys for watching. Stick around, and we'll see you in a little bit.
We're going to get into the game and have the real test. It is the last game of this series. And it's going to be on Cactus Valley. Okay, I was kind of worried that scene transitioning would break everything, but now it looks to be all calmed down now. Yeah, it's so weird. The CPU was using 90% for OBS Studio. Now it's back down to 11%, which sounds a lot more reasonable. That was crazy. I don't know, I hear a lot of people saying it's, or see a lot of people saying that it's good. Okay, so it's good. Alright, I'm gonna go with it. So let me know what the in-game sounds are like, and I can accommodate for that. But let's get the score up. I meant to go to the bathroom before this, but oh well. In the bottom left, as the pink Zerg, she is Scarlett. In the top right, as the red Terran, he is MajOr. I still see like 90% of people saying the volume is fine. And unfortunately, I might be tabbing out occasionally because I still haven't fixed this whole appointment issue that I had. Rifkin's issue is a lot more important. I mean, bleeding all over the place, you know, but I didn't mean to be rude and just like cancel literally last minute, but it seems to be the way it's gonna go. Oh, look at that. Another 2 racks, it did work out pretty well. I guess last game was a 3 racks, but still, multiple Reapers worked out pretty well. And to be honest, if Scarlett's going to continue being any types of tricky in the early game, whether it's a proxy hatch, or early pull, or early speed, multiple Reapers are actually probably the best defense you can get. Other builds do fine against it as well, don't get me wrong, but this might just be a win-win situation, even if it is cross-spawn, which it should be a little less win for the Terran. How are people so bad at this? Okay. That should be better. But some people were literally like, oh, it sounds fine. The game sounds are fine. And other people were like, there's literally no game sounds at all.
see how that works out. Of course, Scarlett's probably not expecting this 3 racks at all. I mean, one, you aren't going to scout it this quickly. That is one, I guess, benefit of cross spawn, is that these overlords will literally, they won't be able to see what's in the base, but of course the laid reinforcement line of the Reapers isn't too good for the Terran. The surprise factor might still work out. Scarlett has definitely in the past had trouble against 3x Reaper, not just because she was doing a proxy hatch or a Ravager thing or anything like that, but just because in general she's had trouble. A fast lair is, I don't think, what you want at all. This is actually such a weird build too, just in general, but especially going up against multiple Rox Reapers, which she will now figure out as she sees more than one Reaper. That is very awkward indeed. I actually don't have an appointment, but thank you for that text. It's gonna be very awkward. Reapers get in here, immediately go after the Queen. There's, of course, no speed on the way. Roachborn only just now goes down, and this is already feeling like a win from MajOr. Emergency Spinecrawler, there's good news. She did start building extra Queens already, so that's the one silver lining here. But more Reapers coming in, other ones being healed up already. And of course, MajOr is already starting to transition with the command center. Gets the creep tumor, but loses a Reaper for it. Might still be worth. Still getting Reapers, but that Roachborn's almost done. She'll have pretty quick speed, I suppose. But still worried about actually getting units out right now. Feels confident enough to cancel her Spinecrawler, and that might just be valid. Again, the Reapers come in so late, it wasn't proxied. It might be fine for the hold. And the second command center is also on the way, so definitely a fine economy behind this. I really feel like Scarlett's in an awkward position, even if she does hold fine, which it looks like she's doing. You know, she's got a transfuse or 2 already, and it looks like the Reapers aren't going to be able to break her. And on Cactus Valley, there's not many other points to jump up on. But to go for this fast lair, I wonder how much of her plan has really been interrupted in this game. MajOr's already caught up in the economy. His natural is down. I guess he hasn't quite yet, but I think soon enough. Already at almost the same amount of workers, and of course getting mules on his side. Should be enough. There we go. Reapers are going to be able to patrol and definitely delay the third base. I mean, she's gotten a Ravager. She doesn't have much creep spread. Seems like these Reapers are really just going to take control and keep control of this game. Nidus Worm is kind of what I was expecting. I don't know if that was the intention of from the very get-go for the lair, but of course with the roaches and being stuck on 2 bases, this is one of the ways to get around the Reapers that you usually don't have the ability to go for. Usually you spend so much, defending and worrying about everything that you don't even think about getting a lair that quickly, but this is one of the first things that she got. So Nidus Worm can hit in a lot of different places, but it looks like MajOr might know that she prefers this type of defense. Nope, he actually just literally scouted it. Never mind. So, Nidus is on the way. Bunkers have already been put down. He doesn't have a lot of tech on his side, which usually by now a Terran player has, the ability to get Liberators or Medevac. Queen's gonna help transfuse. That Nidus Worm should help transfuse. Oh god, that was actually really close, but they don't get the second transfuse. Another Nidus Worm pops up. Marines don't have stim, but the Queens are going down. That is the last transfuse. And this still might just be favorable for MajOr. In fact, I still think it is. I mean, he lost 15 workers, and there is another Nidus Worm, but there's still a lot of units ready to go for MajOr. Oh, but a lot of roaches pop out. He's going to have to use that bunker. Cyclone pops out to help a little bit, but I'm not sure how helpful that's going to be. Sim is almost done, and MajOr is still producing. Remember, he does have 3 CC, so even after losing 26 SCVs, he might still be able to come back into this game. But his army is now, I think, just wasting away too much. I think he's lost too much bio and can no longer hold on. She's still producing. Got a couple of Queens on the way now as well, and this actually worked. This is going to win the game. He's producing SCVs, but I'm not sure he's going to have the ability to really mine with them. I guess she had her own lull in production, though, so MajOr's still going to try and hold on. If he could clean up the Nidus Worm in all of her units, there is still a comeback potential, but that's 31 SCVs in total right there. And that's really awkward. I don't know. I don't know about this game, man. Like, okay, so MajOr has 3 mules. He's gonna be able to lift off his command centers. You know, obviously benefits here economically for him, but he's got no upgrade lead. His tech is a bit behind because the starport was never built. It's only now coming down. He does have stim though, so I don't know. I really don't know how to call this game. I think most of the Terran players would have tapped out after losing the army for the most part, but MajOr sticking me in here is really put me in a loss for guesses. So we'll just see how it plays out. Scarlett does grab her 3rd base. This is something that if a medevac had been popped out already, I can almost guarantee MajOr has picked up 8 Marines and is looking for opportunity to use it. But without that medevac, he really is just staying at home. I definitely like the tank that's on the way. I think the Cyclone was just, it needed to be something right now. He couldn't wait for the tech lab, but the tank's gonna be a lot better. And that 3rd CC doesn't have to be lifted to be useful. Just building 3 SCVs at a time is still worthwhile, as the minerals haven't really been depleted quite yet. Only a tiny little bit. I still kind of have a belief in the Terran comeback potential that I'm like even still putting a bit in the favor of MajOr. But so far, Scarlett has had excellent holds and defenses and a lot more even, easier games to call. So I do wonder if that's going to be the trump card here and still lead to Scarlett's victory, but I just have no idea. A little bit distracted right now as I'm trying to attend to something. But right now we're just watching both of them kind of bulk up here. She did try and tunneling claws into the natural, but thank God Cactus Valley has a very easy wall off. I think if there was another map, like say it was Newkirk, maybe MajOr didn't even think about walling off completely. This is an extra 2 supply depots at least. And maybe he just like messed up entirely, but he does lower the supply depot, does not notice the ground moving here because you can kind of see it, and this is just bad news. That tank was supposed to hold onto any further aggression for a lot longer than this. Now the tank is going to go down, but she cannot take on the Marines. So that might not even be worth it, to be honest. SCVs are definitely going on the main base too. Oh, he's not even pulling away. Oh god. Ah, he's trying to chase on the last roach, but it's not working. This was... I actually started to wonder if it would do enough damage, but... you know, thought maybe it wouldn't with the amount of Marines that MajOr had. But I think letting the SCVs just get slaughtered in the main base really made this worth it for Scarlett. Drop in the main, tried to return some damage, but it ended up going down, and that's actually it. MajOr figures after that second loss of SCVs, there's just no way to come back, and he was probably right. GG. Scarlett finally ends up taking this series after being up 2 games. Wow. Apparently the music was too loud. That's fine, I can change that. But yeah, that was a good series. It lasted a lot longer than we anticipated, but now we're going to go on to the decider match, which is going to be Kelazor versus MajOr, then their TVT. I'll get that underway as soon as possible. Two vetoes. And then I'm guessing they're going to have to go tap Kelazor on the shoulder and talk to him. What do we got here? We have Hamel Camel, resubbing for 10 months. 60 days until Partooth Day. That's true. I guess Noman Brain resub for 17 months and also is a new sub because I think Twitch Lords is confused. And yeah, I'm going to go to the break screen. I'm not actually in the dashboard to play commercial though, so you're just going to see a blank screen and nothing. But I need the break, so see you guys as soon as the players are ready.